Good morning, everyone, and welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser on a Monday morning where Grumpy is in the house as always. He's only here because it's Monday, to be honest. Another weekend. This is ridiculous now. If we cancel these midweek games where we kind of sputtered, we are talking about what a great weekend it's been for Liverpool. And this time, Matush, we did not even play.
And it's been like, besides the playing part, it's been like this for the past few Mondays. We've gotten to go on here and go, what a great weekend. Yep. And then so now I'm just bracing myself for, God damn it, what a shit weekend. At some point, it's got to happen. But yeah, it was a good weekend, albeit not playing. I just had the sad realization that the City game, again, that we played, which, great, won the game, fine. But that is the last game that I will have ever watched in this house that I currently have, because it's rough. It's rough. The close every day, closer and closer. There's gonna be some tears here and there, that's for sure. But yeah, that's where we're
Really?
at.
How long have you guys been there?
Well, I bought this in 2018, so it's been 6 years. But I remodeled, renovated like the entire house. Kind of built it into my own vision, if you will.
That's why I don't do a lot of DIY. You don't want to get attached.
Yeah,
we've been here like 25 years, but that's
don't do that. Don't do that. So that's where I'm at, and this is the last Monday show in this house. So
damn, really?
Yeah.
Wow. And so when are you going to be joining? Where's the new palace? Are you moving to the new palace? Temporary palace?
Who's my mom in this scenario? If I'm the king no, she's the queen.
Evil queen.
No, because I'm the prince. Yeah. She's not evil at all. She
I mean,
it will be
know her, but
it will be at the queen's house.
Oh, okay, that's nice. So she says, who wore the wrong socks this weekend?
I did.
By the way, wait, before we get to, and there's some headlines to get to, aside from we'll take a peek at the Premier League too, but we do have to get the story out because we did have the live watch along yesterday, and you had to leave at halftime, which I blame you for the Spurs fans blame you for the Chelsea comeback.
Yes.
But we did have to leave, but you had to leave, I should say. We finished it off with Maka over there because you had to take the dog to Santa. So now I have so many questions. We were talking about it after you left as well. I don't think so yet, Blake. I don't think they know the date yet because I think it really depends on how both these teams do in the FA Cup and stuff like that as well. So how did that go for you? The dog, the Santa, what did he ask for? Like the Santa say, what do you want for Christmas? How are we doing this?
So I'll pull this up on the screen here so that the people can get a look at how great it looks.
I have like literally 20 questions.
Okay, well let me share. Boom, boom, boom. She looks a little special. Look at the
She is not liking that. No, right?
No, it was a little difficult to get her to take the picture. Usually at the groomer, she's really easy with pictures, but I'm not around for that because let me also throw this in there.
Groomer is taking pictures too?
Yeah, so after
guys constantly doing like a photo op over here. What's going on?
After every session, they take a picture and then you can buy it, and it's really cute. And I'm like, yeah, they know I'll just buy anything because I'm a sucker. So it's a collage of pictures she's taken. As you can see, she looks much better in all of these pictures.
To be fair, she doesn't have antlers, so that kind of helps the cause.
She doesn't have antlers, and then me and Michelle are not anywhere around this. So I think because we were right next to her, she was way too overstimulated and would not just sit down and take a nice picture. So instead of getting something like this, we got this derp. So yeah, and okay, so I'm here for the questions. Go for it.
I mean, okay. Here are the questions before we. Yeah, I mean, does Santa interact with the dog?
As much as she's so cute.
Like, what do you want for Christmas? Or no? Okay.
No. It was very much
Did you sit on Santa's knee?
no.
You had to think about that, so that's kind of scary because there was a pause. Pause, as we all know,
because the Santa, he was like in his early 40s. You know,
young Santa.
He didn't feel like Junior. He didn't feel like Santa. When we pulled up into the parking lot, he had his beard down, and it looked like he was just ready for a big old cigarette. And I was just like, Blue's got to go over there right now. She's got to take a picture. I was going to talk to him, but never mind. I don't want to talk to him anymore. But everyone else was dressed up, and so it was fun. It was a fun time.
Are there any other animals, or is it just dogs? The guy bringing his gecko to have a picture taken with.
No, so this grooming salon. This groomer.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a vet. So okay.
No. They're called All for Canine, so it's just dogs.
Gotcha.
And we were the only.
Let's like the stream. Preach. Yes, actually, give us a thumbs up if you haven't subscribed. Go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. Aaron is in the house. What's going on, Aaron? If you have not, you should hop onto YouTube as well and give us a subscribe there. Anyone scared that we'll bottle this title? No, man. I see you posting everywhere about this whole bottling thing. Put the bottle away, literally, and don't worry. Don't worry about it. It's way too early to bottle anything. If anything, we didn't play. We can take the month off. We can take the month off, and nobody would still catch us. Is what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. We didn't play. We should be excited. If we're talking February, the gap is 1-2 points, then let's talk about a bottle. But at that point, I think most of us will be at the end of a bottle, so I don't know how much talking there will be.
Speaking of a bottle, last week on the panel show,
yes,
Alan, who's the Arsenal fan, had told in our Discord channel, Alex, actually, he said it on air. Actually, never mind. He showed the bottle on air and showed the bottle of Malort. And he said he was
Malort.
It's Malort?
Malort, yes.
Excuse more. That he was going to take a shot of Malort for every goal that Fulham beats Arsenal by, since they tied, but still it's a point loss. I'm hoping there has to be some kind of sipping, even if it's not taking shots of that nasty.
Half a shot.
Half a shot? I think that's a good one, actually. We can take a shot. I mean, I agree with Cohen. We needed this break. Gravenberg, honestly, the back line, I kind of would like to have more of a rotation back. So when we do normally do, Slot has been doing these subs where he takes both the left back and the right back off, usually around the 60th minute, 70th minute or so. Well, we can't do that now. There's no right back or left back. You can shift. You can only put Gomez on one side, so you're not going to be able to change both sides. So I think it's definitely good for us. What made it great for us, and Mecca was making fun of me because I said this like 10 times, I think, during the watch along. But what made it great for us is the fact that they lost points. I think, Aaron is worried about bottling and stuff now. You would think it would be a bigger concern if we took, if the game gets postponed, and then these guys all win, and now suddenly you have 4 points, 7 points, and stuff like that. The optics of it would be more like they're breathing down your neck. I think the fact that City and Arsenal both lost points, Chelsea did win because Spurs is Spurs. I think it was it's made it 10 times better that it got postponed.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, I think you can have that what if argument that if the game goes on and whatever the result might have been, is that true, by the way?
That we've been top at Christmas 5 times on the club? I know about 5, man. 5 seems high.
That seems very high because I feel like.
But I know there was a year where we were the only ones, Liverpool was the only team to be there and lose it. I didn't think it was 5 times though, but I have no reason to doubt Con.
I've got it up. Only 3 times.
3 times, and we only won once, obviously.
Yeah, 18-19. That was the year.
I mean, here's the thing, though: being top at Christmas by a point is different than being top of Christmas by like 8 points or 5 points or whatever, too. But
right.
I think, especially if you're not worried as much about Chelsea, which we'll talk. Maybe we should be. I mean, you can't really look at the game yesterday and be like, we should be worried about this. Chelsea reminds me of those guys who I play FIFA against, where they get in the box and they dribble around and around and around, hoping that they're going to get a cheap penalty because they constantly have the R1 or L1 stuck over there.
They were penalties, though.
They were, but if you notice, Palmer does that like all the freaking time.
Yeah,
people are afraid to go anywhere near him, and that's how the last goal came, because they're afraid to make that contact that's going to make him go. I'm not saying he's a diver or anything like that, but he does like to take positions inside the box and kind of force you into making a move. But 4 point clears with a game in hand and 4 points clear on Chelsea, who I don't know, do you consider Chelsea as a threat?
I think we should start talking about it. Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
All right, let's talk about it.
I'm trying to figure out the lighting over here. There we go. I'm nice.
I know Kazi's the biggest, Chelsea is not in the title camp, but I think when you have a team that can score goals like they can, I know they will lead goals, right? I think that back line is still shaky. I understand that. But when you can score a handful of goals and you have guys like Palmer, Neto, Madueke, Jackson, Sancho that can come on and they can make a difference. They can make a difference in a game. I think that with where they're at right now, and also I really love the big praising for Enzo and his first year as a Premier League manager. They must have said that on the broadcast several times. And it's just so is Slot, right? I mean, I'm sure that they would have said it if he was the one managing too. But yeah, I think we should consider it, because any team that is able to score goals like they do, have the talent that they do, and we've always talked about how many players they have and the depth that they have. And if they start to get it, if they begin to get it clicking, then we should worry about them. And I think they're starting to click. So I think they should be considered as challengers. Maybe it's premature still because of what we saw last year from them, and I get that. But if we have the same conversation in April and they're still 4 points behind, is it not the same thing?
The only thing is, City fans would argue with you that you can score all the damn goals you want. When you can't stop goals from leaking, you are going to end up losing points. And I think that's the thing with Chelsea. Chelsea's going to have a game. Well, Kevin is in the house. Speaking of, I was about to literally say Crystal Palace, and then Kevin is there. They're going to go away to Crystal Palace or something like that, and they're going to get conceded on. They're not going to have time, or they're not going to. Because here's the thing. Nobody plays like Spurs, where they're up 2-0, and they're still like, come on in, the door is open, just help yourself, and then come past the midfield and stuff. Nobody's going to play that open, especially once they have a 2-0 lead. When they play against the Forest, the Palace, or somebody like that who, got those early goals somehow, and they can, because like you said, they are leaky in the back. That's how you lose points. And that's how we lost points in the past, right? We always started the game, it felt like 1-0 down because we played in a risky format. And then we tried to dig ourselves out of it, which that's why I'm not as worried about Chelsea, but you got to look at the standings and still say, they're there.
I mean, we're 2 results away from being on the same amount of points as them. That's what I'm saying. Is that if it wasn't for such an incredible start,
14 games, 2 results. That's that's pretty good. Actually, 3 results, isn't it? Because they're 4 points. We have a game in hand, so you're already giving away that game and 2 more games for us to be on the same. So 3 games out of 15 game matches are we in now?
Yeah, I guess. I guess I'm looking at it from the sense of
math.
if the start of our season wasn't so as perfect as it. I mean, I guess you can't say it's perfect because there's a loss and a couple draws on there. But if you revert to the median at some point, it would be a little bit closer than it is now. Not that I would want it to be closer, but I don't know if I don't know. I feel like it's one of those teams that will be able to, because they can score. And I get your point, right? If you're going to leak goals, you're going to leak points. I get that. But if you're a team that can score, you can get yourself into any game. You can try to win. You can try to get back into any game. And if you have that chance in every game, then you have the chance to make the points. So I think we should talk about it. We don't have to consider it to like a concrete level, but we should definitely talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's where I'm at with them. If they're still around, and we were looking at their schedule, I think yesterday during the live watch along, it did look pretty favorable, but you never know because they had some like weird games like Ipswich away and stuff like that. Like, will they be able to go to a place like that? Hold on, actually, I can like pull it up right now and let you know.
They've got the best form in the league right now.
They're playing Brentford at home. So that's going to be like 6-5 or something like that, probably.
Wait, right? who's home? Chelsea or
Chelsea.
Brentford? Okay, no. Chelsea's going to win like 3-0 because Brentford is awful away.
Away is true.
Have you seen the two tables of Brentford? They're home and away. I'll have to find and put it up. It's hilarious because
they have to be way ahead at home, right? Because they have won every single game at home, I think.
Yes.
Owen says Konate is back after New Year. I hope Ali has started training along with your buddy Jota, who's back in action as well in training. So those guys will start. I mean, not Ali because you don't put a goalie in with like 15 minutes to go or anything like that. But I would not be shocked if like Jota. I don't know how many training sessions he's had, but comes in for like 5-10 minutes or something like that, either tomorrow or this coming weekend. But I'm more worried about Konate and Bradley coming back, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
if he wanted to, I think he could put Gomez on the left instead of Costas or something like that. But the right side, especially with Trent coming back from injury and not 100% and stuff like that, like, even tomorrow, I would rather see Gomez over there and not, save Trent for the weekend and not risk anything. Because Chiesa is back as well, by the way, so he should be getting some minutes.
He's back.
Tomorrow.
He's just sick, so he needs a tea.
Is he sick?
He was out today because of illness, so he needs a tea, a warm blanket, and a kiss on the forehead from Slot, and he'll be back tomorrow.
Chelsea will be our biggest threat. Arsenal without corners are effective as I mean, here's the thing, though. They get corners. They probably didn't get enough yesterday. I swear I did not turn the game on yesterday because I have crazy superstitions like that. So when I saw the 1-0, I'm like, I'm not touching this. When I saw 1-1, I'm like, I'm still not touching this. So when I saw the 2-1 and you guys, people were on Discord talking about it might be off, I was like, tell me what's happening.
I can't turn it on or I will make the decision for them.
It was like, I swear I'll turn it on right now. But yeah, I did not turn it on and they did lose the points. That's a huge point loss. We'll talk to Alan tomorrow on the panel show and stuff too, but that is a huge loss of points.
On the panel show, that was someone chose that as their upset. I can't remember who it was, but I mean, granted, it wasn't a win; it was still a draw. It was still a good choice. I think someone picked Forest over United, but I think I also said that that's not really an upset.
Yeah, I think was that Jake. I have to go back to it. Yeah. So that Tonali's picks. If you're not watching the panel show, we do Tonali's picks and put bets on games at the end of every episode. And yeah, there was Forest. There was definitely Fulham. I can't remember even who I picked, actually, to be honest with you, because it's kind of like do it on the fly. But we will get to United because Kevin is talking about how the Kiwi scored over there. That's crazy, by the way.
So there's Brentford. And there's Brentford. So
yeah, that sucks.
Plus 7 goal differential is 16 points. Minus 7 goal differential is 0 points. So yeah, if they're away, I expect like a 3-0 Chelsea, to be honest.
Yeah, it is at Chelsea. Then they play away to Everton. See, that's the thing. They play and then Fulham home, away to Ipswich. I feel like that away to Everton, away to Ipswich Town are games that are on paper where Chelsea would be favored. But I think for a title contending team, those are the important games in some ways. That are you going to be able to go in a cold and go to Ipswich and get a result from there, come back with 3 points. Go to Everton, where they're like the anti-Spurs, and they're going to park the bus, and they're just going to try to counter you and do set pieces and stuff. Are you going to be able to get 3 points at Goodison? I think those are games, while they look easy on paper, and if they do get those 3 points, I think by the end, on paper, they don't have a tough schedule till Kevin's Palace away, January 4th. And even after that, they play Bournemouth and stuff. I think the biggest thing going for them, we talked about this before, is they're in the Conference League. So, I mean, on next Thursday, they play Shamrock Rovers. So that should be a tough matchup for them at home. And then in the FA Cup, they have an easy draw. So they don't have a lot of tough games. But let's see if they can get 3 points. They win games they should win, I guess. Because let's face it, as Liverpool, we've been there where we won some big games, but then other games where you felt like you were gonna get 3 points, 3 points, we stumbled, and that's why Cohen is making me have PTSD over there that we lost by a point twice, and honestly, it was like points lost in those games right there. Sparky says that's 12 points for Chelsea. If it is 12 points for Chelsea, I think that's when we say, okay, they're contenders. I do not think that's 12 points for Chelsea is the thing. On paper, it is. I don't think they go to those 2 tough away games and come out with even Fulham at home. Fulham can attack, and they defend better than anybody defends better than Spurs in some ways. But so those are like risky games. But if they win and they find a way to win those games and 3 points, then you're like, you know what? You're in the title race, kind of an ordeal. I want to get to United because Kevin was talking about it, but let's talk about our news first. Hold on, let's put this over here from Ornstein. This came yesterday, and I don't know how we take this, but so we have made a contract to Mo, and actually I read afterwards that we made a contract offer to everybody. You get an offer, you get an offer, you get an offer, and we sent contract offers. Of course, that doesn't mean anything, Mateusz, because we could be offering him a sandwich and some chips or something. But it does make it look like something could happen soon. It does. Ornstein was saying himself that this might take a while, but we've talked about this in the past. If the club did not think there was a chance, or there was a negotiation part, they would not even make an offer.
Yeah, I think it's a positive thing to see that all 3 are being reached out to, because the club does value them enough to want to stay. And I think part of it, they're going to look at the analytical side of it. The other part is they're going to look at maybe some of the fan side of it, right? I think there's been a lot of outcry from fans talking about setting down the spreadsheet and just pay them the money kind of thing. And while we don't know what those contract offers are, it could also just be lip service from the club being like, oh yeah, but we did offer them a contract, not knowing that maybe, it's for less money or less years than what all 3 of them were asking for, whatever the case might be. And there's a world where maybe all 3 of them, they're in the little WhatsApp group saying, hey, what was your offer? Hey, what was your offer? What was your offer? And then, we're kind of still in the same scenario waiting for the rebuttal.
It's like after the physics test, it's like, what did you get?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's encouraging. If I'm looking at it from just a superficial level, I don't know much about the club. I just know that these guys their contracts are running out, and they look like they're important to the team. If I'm looking at a superficial level, it's encouraging to see that there has been an offer made. If I am looking at it from a pessimistic, always worrying side of view, it's that they're just sending it out. They're just sending it out there. The offers aren't actually any good. They just want to cover their asses when the guys leave in January or sign a new offer in January somewhere else. Not that I think they will, but.
So just to sell a post to the white. Yeah, I saw that thing, and I was trying to come up with an encrypted message. Is he burning the contract offer and it's just smoking away? But no, it was just like an incense or something like that. I think I just see it as positive, and we all know I'm the pessimist of the gang over here, but I kind of see that as a positive just because we would not make an offer. I mean, the agents have kind of given us a sense of what is wanted, right? Having said that, we've made offers to Genie, we made offers to Emre Can and stuff, and in terms of saying like, this is what we'll give you,
Yeah.
Take it or leave it kind of thing. So it could be that as well, where we're like, we'll give you 200,000 a week, take it or leave it or something. I just don't see that in all these three cases, though. With the other ones, we kind of knew that, hey, there's somebody out there who's going to be paying you more, and they were not the profile players that these guys are. So I just feel like the places that will give more money do not offer some of the things we offer. And I feel the same for like Van Dijk and stuff like that.
Like what?
Like a title run, a guaranteed spot, already established in the club. You know what I mean? Like you got, when you're kind of like making a case for yourself in a meeting room, you would throw all those in there. You're like, look, this team is going to challenge. This team is young. Fuck, you guys are the old ones. You can see this to both Van Dijk and Mo, right?
Sure.
This team is young. And, we will make more reinforcements in the summer. This is, like what's based on what Slot wants. Competing for a title, doing well in the Champions League. This team is here to stay. Because I almost feel like some of the worries, and this is the contract situation we're in because of the whole Klopp thing last year. Because if I'm Van Dijk, if I'm Mo and stuff, I want to kind of see what the hell is going on before I commit 5 years and then, become like a mediocre team or something like that. Sure. So now that you see this project working well, this team is here to stay because the parts of the project are all young. So they're only going to get better under the system. I think that's a better sell than, you can go to PSG, who's never won anything, and start from scratch. You'll never be an Mbappe to them. You'll never, you know what I mean? You'll never be one of the like icons of PSG because you're going to be only there for 2 years. Whereas you stay here, you break Premier League records, you break more Liverpool records, and you're like an all-time best Liverpool icon when you do leave with more titles and trophies. Just sign over here. Come on. And no.
And then they go, both Van Dijk and Mo go, well, we're already Liverpool icons and legends. People talk about us as the best Liverpool, center back and right winger ever. I'm not.
Don't you want to leave like that, though, Matush?
Still leaving like that.
Are you? There's a difference between leaving now and going to PSG and then playing against us in the Champions League. Because now we made you offers. Everybody knows there's an offer on the table.
Yeah, but we don't know what that offer is.
Don't worry about that.
That's the problem.
We've gotten the news out that we made offers for you. And that's another thing. Like, it could be a total PR thing because everybody is like, how can we have not made an offer yet? And then, we assumed, because we're not even close, why would we make an offer and make an ass of ourselves? Either we're close or FSG's like, you want an offer? Here's a freaking offer. I'll make you a sandwich.
And look, your pitch is good, right? But you can make the argument that they would already leave as icons.
Make me a better pitch.
Well,
As a different team coming in, what would be their better pitch?
Money. I think that's the only thing that their better pitch would be. It would be money.
And you think more? I mean, I know like money to these guys, and I'm not saying like they make what I make. Like I'm not going to that conversation, but in terms of like money, I know money means status to these guys, right? If your wage is the highest, you're the world's best player, blah, blah, blah. Like, they don't look at it like I need another 10,000 a week. I can't survive on like 340 or something. But at the same time, you have to look at, so I made you a list over here of things, and then you put money on the other side. Like, to me, Mo is not a guy who's going to say money. The only reason he would look at money for a guy like Mo, I feel like, is because it's also symbolizes status, because Mo makes money because Mo farts and then it becomes like a phone ad in Egypt or some shit. You know what I mean? So he makes his money from all these sponsorship deals, all that kind of stuff. It's all about status. Like, are you getting paid more than Kevin De Bruyne or whatever? Like, are you being paid as the highest guy? Aside from that, is money really like a incentive? Money doesn't buy happiness, Matush.
But it sure does.
You should know as a prince that money doesn't buy everything.
But it sure does buy things that make you happy. But The point I'm trying to make, though, is that whether they leave now or in 2 years, they're still going to be viewed as legends of the club. And yes, more records can get broken. But if things go south and they have to leave, and I say south as in, as in renewing the contract, not south as in just the overall ability, but just the contract situation, then they still leave as legends of the club. Now, I think you can make a pitch to Mo if you're PSG and go, hey, look, come over here. We're going to give you all this money. We're going to invest in this team. We want you to win the Champions League for the first time for this club. That could be part of the pitch. That could be something that...
Who's saying this? PSG saying this?
Yeah.
I'm probably thinking, dude, you guys had everybody under the sun and didn't get even freaking close. So I'm going to play all season for one game, basically, in the elimination round. If
you're saying what you are saying about Mo and who he is, you don't think that he goes, yeah, I can be that guy. Fuck Mbappe. Who's he? I can be that guy instead. You guys wasted time with him. I'll take care of it. Because if Mo is the kind of guy that he is, like you're saying, and we know Mo is crazy. He knows every record that he wants to be. He knows everything. He works towards that. You don't think that he would have that mentality and go, Mbappe who? I can do it.
He might have the mentality that he is better than Mbappe. I think Mo is smart enough at the same time to realize one guy does not win titles.
Yeah, but if that one guy, if you're giving him now $500,000 a week, he's still going to win it. He's still going to win a title.
Wouldn't records be a lot more valuable to a crazy guy like Mo? You don't think?
Maybe, and maybe we've just created this scenario in our head. We've created this image of who he is, and we know that he likes to break records. But maybe it's just because he's there. He would be doing the same thing no matter what team he was in, no matter what league he was in. So
yeah, but I mean, he is about to get like even more Premier League records, Liverpool records.
I understand.
You're gonna go to PSG. I mean, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you got 25 goals. Good job.
Break Mbappe, or I don't know. I'm just assuming it's Mbappe, but break whoever's record it is for most goals in 1 year in Ligue 1. Like I don't know. I very much think Mo wants to stay. I think we all think that Mo wants to stay.
Yeah.
To stay, right? I'm not arguing for the case of him leaving. I'm just saying that pitching an idea of him being an icon of the club might not be as effective because he already knows he is one. That's what I'm saying.
I go back to what Kevin is saying. Michael Owen thought he was an icon when he left too. Is Michael Owen an icon now?
Okay. I was 7 years old. I can't comment on that specifically.
Okay,
he wasn't.
You know what? Let's not fucking go there because I allowed Owen when he was playing because I'm old enough to fucking have watched him, you jerk. But aside from that, I don't consider Michael Owen a Liverpool icon anymore. I mean,
but there's a huge difference between Owen and Mo, even in this context too.
Okay, you're too young to know.
But I can recognize what he did for the club and what he won.
I mean, the biggest thing with Owen, obviously, is he went to a rival.
And Mo's not going to United.
But I'm just saying, when you leave, you kind of leave the icon status, especially when you go somewhere and play. If you go to Oblivion, such as the Major League Soccer, or like the Saudi League or something, I think it's totally different. If you go to PSG and you kind of like line up against me in the Champions League game,
but you're leaving after 7 years with over 200 goals and assists, with a Champions League, with a Premier League, with other cups. You're leaving on a free.
That's another thing. You're leaving on free.
That sucks. It does suck. But it's not like he was asking to leave, to get out of his contract early.
No. I mean, that's why I think he keeps saying, hey, I want to stay. What says he left at a time when he hadn't reached his peak? I think it's just like, regardless, like you can be, and my point is like you can be an icon at the time, and then in the aftermath, once the dust settles, you're not an icon anymore. See, Kevin does.
Do you really?
Hey,
do you really?
Go to your room.
I already am. Do you really think, in your heart of hearts, Tell me honestly right now, sitting here,
Okay.
looking at me, look me in the eyes and tell me.
I can't.
Look at me, damn it. If Mo doesn't resign and he leaves, do you really think he loses the sense of being an icon at the club? The status of being a legend. Do you really think he loses that if he leaves?
He would not be the same as him staying another 2 years. Definitely winning more trophies with this team, the way it is right now.
What if he stays 2 years, they don't win any more trophies and he's shit? Does it change then?
My view of him, if anything, I'd be like, yeah, as he aged, he was not as good anymore, is what I would say.
And why did we put so much
But
money into
if he
someone that was
goes to
clearly
PSG
declining?
and comes to freaking Anfield with PSG or something like that, my view of him it's like fun, like what you do on the way out, right? That's what you normally remember the guys by. I mean, I'm not talking about skill level. Obviously, it diminishes over time. I mean, watching Gerrard over here in Major League Soccer was just fucking sad. When he was playing for like Galaxy, it was like literally sad. But it would definitely, it's a taste in your mouth kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, what are you leaving with? And if you're leaving right now to go to PSG because you're gonna make an extra 100,000 a week, it does diminish how I look at you overall. Henderson is a perfect example.
No, it is not.
How was that another result? I loved Henderson, and I thought he was, and he probably still is one of the best captains of this club. And the way he left has totally soured like how I view him right now because of how he left, when he left, what he did, and all that kind of stuff.
But that's much different than having this situation come up where there isn't a contract that is offered that he accepts. Henderson left just to leave. He was told
he got a boatload of money. He didn't just leave.
He was told he wasn't going to play though. His minutes were going to be limited. He wasn't going to have the same spot as before. He got pouty and he left off to some fucking league that no one cares about, and he turned his back on every single thing that he stood for. That's a different situation. If Mo doesn't re-sign, he stays for the second half of the year. They win either the Premier League or the Champions League. He has a great year. He says, "Thank you very much. This is my last gift to you."
Yeah, you get an edge there because
different.
The season ends with a trophy and he rides off into the sunset.
But that's what you're saying, is that because of where this team is at and the possibility of winning trophies, that's why he should stay. But also he could give us one last trophy and go, "Thank you for everything."
No, because I'm saying that because if you leave this team to go anywhere else, the only reason ends up being money and nothing else. Who the fuck believed Henderson left for more playing minutes? Right? That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck buys that? Don't bullshit me all that stuff. Don't say, "Oh, ambition, I want a new challenge." Don't give me any of that bullshit. Because if this team is the way it is and you're going somewhere else, I'm taking you as you went for fucking money. And if you're leaving Liverpool and what we have for just money, then your value, in my eye, diminishes a little bit. Fair or not. That's how I roll. I hold grudges. So I think watch your back, buddy.
I think that's fair, but I don't think you can compare these situations equally. I think that's not fair. I think this is a different situation between, you can't compare.
No, I'm just using it as an example.
Well, you said it was the perfect.
I think, yeah, because
analogy.
Ultimately it becomes you're leaving for money. All the other stuff is bullshit. Because you can't say I'm leaving for money. You fucking pull a handle and say, I'm going to go make a change. Yeah, why don't you go change an entire freaking country and the company's culture because you fucking passed, shifted the ball from wing to wing in midfield. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody believed that shit. He went for money. And if Mo, the way this team is right now, and you made an offer and you can be like, you can stay here, be a legend, even more trophies. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go there. You're going there for money. There's no other reason. And if you're leaving just for money to get an extra 75,000 a week, so you're getting paid more than this dude, so you can tell yourself, that you're the best player because you're getting an extra 75,000 a week, 100,000 a week, then in my mind, get the fuck out of here. And that's why automatically, not like I'm going to be hating on him, but, I don't hate on Henderson or anything, but he definitely is not the Henderson that I viewed 4 years ago.
Yeah, but I think if Mo leaves, he's still viewed as the same Mo as it was 3 years ago. I think that's my point at the end of the day, is that his status as an icon, a legend of the club isn't going to change, because I think now we're beyond the narrative of him being the bad guy. I think we're at the narrative of, well, FSG is just they're not committed enough. They won't offer enough. They won't do this. They won't do that. And you can look at it as Mo going, yeah, it is just a little bit more money. I'll go take more money. But I think we're beyond the point of him being the bad guy in this scenario. And I think so. That's what can change things too. Is that how we perceive it? How most
that's why this rumor is out. To be honest,
and that's what you're saying in the beginning, right? I mean, you're trying to put something out to make it look like you're making steps towards that. Because if this doesn't come out at all, and then he walks, you're like, well, shit. Do you guys even try? What's going on?
Yeah, and maybe the offer is comical. And he's going to be like, yeah, okay. Yeah, why don't I do that? Or something like that and leave. And, that shit will come out, the agent. The only positive, another reason I view this as positive is I haven't heard like his agent, who has a loud mouth, put like a laughing emoji or something like that and tweeted that out, saying, whoa, the contract was like so weak that, we got an offer. And then, just move on kind of a thing. So I take that as a positive. If Salah stays, he will pass Stevie G and Sir Kenny as the best to play for us. I mean, I've already seen a lot of conversations about that. And I think some of it is because of like the bias of, you just seeing him. You just saw him score another 2 goals. You just saw him do this. You just saw him do that. But, yeah, I mean, he's already in the conversation. Don't you want to stay in that conversation? Because, the common theme about these two dudes is the fact that they stuck around. No, you're not buying it. You know what? That's right. That's why you're a prince. But, hey, if you bitch about FSG, and everybody will, shit could be worse. So, okay, this is comical. And, it's funny because, I was thinking as I'm watching news, and then Angie, who's kind of like, outside, obviously she watches the shows and stuff, so watch what the fuck you say. But, it's like she gets her probably United News through us. It's not like she follows them or through me. She got the same impression that, so this guy didn't appoint Amarim even. Like, I got the impression that they hired Amarim, they lost the Forest, and after the game, they're like, why the fuck is he playing that? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't fucking want him in the first place. They're like, you know what? You should probably leave. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm out of here. That's like how I envisioned the entire conversation there.
I think the most amazing thing about this is that this wasn't leaked in the media beforehand. Everything Man United related, I feel like we get the news of days, maybe weeks before it happens. This just came out of nowhere for the first time in years, it feels like. And it was like, okay, so this is the stuff that they're able to keep a lid on. Interesting. You work for over a year to get this guy to leave Newcastle to come to your club. And then he spends more time on his garden than he does, as a sporting director, and he's gone. It's just, they are the meme club now, and it's fantastic. It is the gift that keeps on giving.
It is the gift that keeps on giving. It just makes zero sense. And just when you thought maybe they're getting their shit straight, it's almost like goes back and the Sir is basically taking charge. Looks like it's going to be another Spurs kind of like scenario. And they put Amarim in charge. The thing I didn't understand, and all the hate for Amarim, that's why I feel like, they were like, why the fuck is he playing this guy? He's like, I don't know. You guys are the ones who freaking hired him. I wanted maybe, I think Sir Z was saying it. Maybe he was right. Like he did want. He's like, I told you guys to get the Southgate guy or something. But like Amarim, he's been here 2 weeks. Like, what did you guys expect him to do and change? Were they hoping that the new manager smell would last a bit longer? I mean, the truth is eventually going to come out. Your squad is your squad, and your habits are your habits. I don't get why suddenly last week it was like they found the right guy because he won one game. It's like when Ruud beat Leicester City twice in 1 week. They were like, he knows what he's doing. And then, it's like, okay. And then he won one game. They're like, they found the right guy. And then they lose to Forest. They're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. It's like, dude, he just showed up.
Yeah, and he showed up in a time where the club clearly is in a tumultuous period. There is something rooted in that club that whether it was Amorim or Southgate, I think we would have come in the same situation. We would have been talking about similar things because there's just a bigger problem at that club than just who the manager is. And it's going to take a lot more time. If they're really serious about Amorim and this project, it's going to take several years. They're going to have to do like an Arteta situation where they're going to have to go through a rough year or two, and they're going to have to give him time. They're going to have to give him the players that he wants to bring in. It's going to take 2-3 transfer windows to really start to kick out all of the trash and bring in what he feels is best for the setup, best for the club. Now, will that work? You don't know, right? I mean, it's always a gamble, but if you're serious about that, then you have to give them the time that it takes to try and build the squad that he needs.
Yeah, and I don't know. I had to talk to him. I mean, I enjoy Arsenal misery, but not as much as United misery, so know a lot more about it. I don't know if Arteta had the same situation where he had to take out the garbage, but the garbage wasn't getting paid ridiculous amounts, so it was a bit easier to take those guys,
Sure.
get rid of those guys. I think I'm not like I say, I don't know the full finances. Maybe we'll ask Alan tomorrow on the panel show. But like it felt like he was just getting rid of some leftovers, like scraping the plates. You know what? Yeah, throw the shit in the dishwasher. Let's start over again, kind of a deal. Whereas over here, they're like, I mean, nobody wants this. The trash is throwing like Casemiro back at you because they're not gonna pay Casemiro that much money. So, like, you have a lot of guys in the squad that get ridiculous amounts of money, so you can't even get rid of them unless you're paying the wages, which doesn't help the cause.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to have to make some really tough decisions. Someone like maybe Rashford that's been with the club forever, right? Is it time for him to move away from the club? And is it time to cut that relationship, even though he's been maybe one of United's bright spots for the last 6-7 years at certain periods? And that's only because he's come up through the club. I think that's why he gets a little bit more of a, I guess, cushion. Because he's been a guy that's been there through everything. But this could be one of those moments where, like, look, he hasn't played him in the last 2 games. He hasn't started him in the last 2 games. And maybe he's just clearly not a fan of him. So it's going to take some tough decisions. And, the fans are going to have to just weather the storm, if you will.
It's just the fact that, I mean, this happened literally right after Amorim comes over. To me, just says it has to do with that and nothing else. Like, he did not want this dude. And then it's hard to work with a dude you did not want in the first place. But that's why, I mean, then why do you have this guy? And I almost feel like then, if you guys are making all these decisions without me, why the hell do you guys need me? Let me go. Yeah, you can go. And then he's gone. So I just don't, because you would think they waited, like you said, a long time to get him. They paid to get him. They're probably going to pay him to leave now and pay a new guy in, which, I was watching something on Sky yesterday saying like they might not, Ornstein was saying they might not even bring anybody because there's way too many Chiefs in the mix already. But you would think when he came over, the Ten Hag decision was already made or was talked about. So they can't really blame him for the Ten Hag decisions. And the players that were recruited, you would think went through a Ten Hag, which, like I say, the Ten Hag extension was a mistake. And then bringing guys to the mistake extension is another mistake. But how is any of that? How can you put any of that on Ashworth? Or is that just a scapegoat? Because he's the guy who voiced his opinion in the meeting. You're like, you're out of here. I am sir. You're not sir. You're out.
How dare you?
The stuff in the Royal.
How dare you? Yeah, and I think there were reports when Amorim was going to West Ham. I think there was something about him and the sporting director not getting along, which is probably part of the reason why he didn't get the job there. So I don't know what Amorim is like behind doors, if he's very much a figure that, like a Klopp figure, where he wants to do everything his way. And Ashworth at that point was like, you know what? Because he wasn't fired, he left. So it had to be.
It was mutual. I never buy that.
It's never mutual, is it?
You know what, man? That's fucking wrong. That is freaking wrong. How dare you? How dare you, sir? But yeah, you much like a goddamn sex rep.
If I speak, I am in trouble.
Speaking of, by the way, is it just me or Eminem sounds exactly like Mo? Don't look at the screen. You think Mo just took charge of Manchester United?
No, Eminem sounds like Gru from Despicable Me.
I did see that as well. And now, before that, I could not see anything. But now I'm torn. I'm like, is it like Mo if he was acting like Gru? Like, I'm just torn.
Mo's favorite actor is Steve Carell, and so he actually does voices throughout all of Steve Carell's career. Gru being one of them, and that is the voice.
So she said, "Salah, that's all my Manchester United." But yeah, I can't believe these ASTV meetings, which we should have one of.
Yeah. Also, when was the last one?
You know? Huh?
When was the last one? Because
we don't do a lot of we do a lot of virtual meetings and discussions over here, but it's just like interesting that it's a mess. I mean, I love it, like Sparky says, long may it continue, but it's just like when you hear stuff like that, I know it doesn't to most fans. If you already have an anti-FSG agenda, you're not going to change it, but man, like, appreciate some of the consistency and stuff that your club has, instead of, I mean, I guess looking at the worst example of all time is not the way to go, but still.
there was a comment that said something along the lines of, if she cheated to get in a relationship with you, she will cheat on you as well, in terms of Ashworth leaving Newcastle to United and then being maybe a little bit of a weasel when he's at United.
And honestly, like, it would be hilarious if he goes to Arsenal now, because they have the job spot open, don't they? The dude is leaving at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So maybe he's like, But yeah, maybe you're right. He's like, Arsenal looks hot. I love those corner kicks.
That red looks a lot better on me than the United red.
Okay. Prince, come to my rescue over here, because Gordo is now posting all the stuff that I'm about to ban him, but that would only further prove his point, I think. But no, we have like a good old.
I will, to Gordo's comment. This is my response.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
You know what, man? That's it. All you guys are fired. But hey, like and subscribe, and actually join us if you want to see firsthand how this works, and be in the raw of certain mission. Join us as a contributor, as we are recruiting more contributors. Come up here, talk to us about and then, or getting comments like, see, your jobs are up for grabs, baby. Archie's already taking them, but yeah, and then you get to get in comments and talk smack like Gordo's over here. Some nerve.
We're so close to 1,000.
We are so close to 1,000, actually, and we said by Christmas, right? So yes, only one Sir idiot.
He's right. He's always been
right.
Sir
He's
Z.
actually the one terrorizing the entire channel. But
no, that's not right. The fact that he's the one Sir is right.
Okay, tomorrow's game. Real quick. I'm not gonna do the prediction game, and I'm sure we'll talk a lot about it tonight, about the contract stuff, and probably take a look at some of like the players and stuff like that. But what do you want to see tomorrow? Do you want to see the full rotation? Do you want to see a team that goes out to win with some key players being rested? Nobody being rested? What are you doing?
I want to see a full rotation. We won't see a full rotation.
Okay.
We're going to see probably 6 to 8 of our main 11 start and have partial rotation.
I like 6. You would think Mac is going to be there because he's not going to be there the weekend.
Correct. So you're going to want to play him. I think out of the players that I expect to be there, it would be McAllister, Van Dijk, Mo, Gakpo, Diaz. I think it has to be Mo, Gakpo, Diaz. and I guess it doesn't have to be, but Mo, Gakpo, Diaz, Mac, Van Dijk, that's 5. So maybe either Gravenberch or Soboslai as well. I think those would be the 6 that I'd expect. And then we'd see maybe McConnell, maybe Kwanzaa, or I would say hopefully McConnell, hopefully Kwanzaa, hopefully, I don't know, maybe youth. I don't know if Neone is ready, but throw in a kid or two.
I would like to see Neone come in and get 30 minutes at the end, something like that. But I mean, there is a thing to be said about momentum and winning games. I mean, we drew one game against Newcastle away, and everybody's already walking towards the ledge, kind of a deal. So there's something to be said about that. But I don't think you can do a whole lot of rotation in the back line anyway. So there's that. I mean, I don't know how much you can rotate there. Midfield and up top is probably where you can kind of like roll the dice a little bit and get like do you want to see Morton out there instead of Gravenberch? Or the fact that, well, here's the thing, I guess, because we did not play. Oh, Sparky says Elliott. Actually, that's a good shout. Here's the thing. If you do not play, let's say, Gravenberch and stuff, and I almost feel like, yeah, that is sad. I'll give you that, Kevin. That definitely is sad. But just force them. Walk them through it. Maybe like screenshot it step by step. They should be able to figure it out. But no, I mean, Gravenberch has last played. Okay, let's look at this over here. So because of the game yesterday, he last played on the 4th, right? Do you want to give a full 10 days of no action, or do you think? What I envision is, even if we play Morton and stuff like that, round 60, all these guys come in and like get like 20, 30 minutes before they head over to the Fulham game.
Yeah, because you want to give them some minutes. So like you're saying, you want the momentum. You want to keep that going. And I think that's fair. And that's, when it comes to rotation, there's different ways to rotate. And rotate within the game is as effective as it can be rotating outside of the game, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say give the guys the rest that they need for the 55 to 65, and then bring them in, give them half an hour, let them still be able to run a bit.
Early, I mean, they're not having the best of form, obviously. They're with a game in hand. I guess I don't know when they're going to play. Are they playing today or something? They can't be playing today. I don't know why they have 16 games. Maybe they have bye weeks over there or something. But yeah, I mean, they're in the middle of the table, conceding more than they score. They concede a lot, looks like. So that's always a good sign. But let me pull this up, though. Where are they in the Champions League? Because I would assume they would need it a lot more than. I mean, obviously we don't need it, but they're 30th right now. 1 win, 4 losses, 4 goals scored, 9 conceded. Having seen all this, what is your prediction for a scoreline tomorrow?
3-0.
3-0 the good guys, huh?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Why not, indeed?
I'm on the train. Let's go.
I'm on the train as well. I do think we win this because I agree with you. I don't think he does a full rotation. So a lot of the key players are there, and a lot of guys like, Sparky's saying, like Elliott and stuff like that. A lot of guys out there trying to prove their worth.
Mm-hmm.
So playing better. I think that gives us. Sparky's going with the slot special 2-0, which I can see that too. Take a 2 lead and then just like park the bus and just like sit back and control the game and stuff like that and kill it off. But I do expect a win tomorrow. I don't know why, but I think it would be good for this team. And then I have faith in slot managing as long as we have no injuries. I don't think a lot of us really care about the score ultimately, but we don't want injuries. And obviously you always want to win, but if it was a draw with no injuries and good minutes distributed, I'm not going to be too bothered about it. Holy shit, Cersei is going with 5-0 over here. Okay, you got really out of control.
I guess here's my quick question for you. Do you think we ever see a 5-0 scoreline under slot?
Yes. Winning 5-0? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Because I think within that, you still like get goals. We've got, like even when we control the ball and stuff like that, eventually when the other team presses, you kind of go over the top. And, like then you get Mo and like, Diaz running at people and stuff. So I think you do. Not as often. I think, you see a lot of 3-0s like your prediction than anything else. So it says we beat West Ham 5-0. Did we? Now you're gonna make me. There we go. To the Google mobile.
It was 5-1. It doesn't count.
Okay, who is the dictator? Who is the jerk in the chat? I'll just let you guys decide over here. That's twice now in the show that you like gone out of your way.
I'm just being specific. I'm just being accurate. You can't hate me for that. You can't hate me for that.
Oh,
and
so
that's
Monday. What? Go ahead.
And that's because we went down 1-0 too in that game, right? So we did. It was a Kwanzaa own goal. I just clicked on it. I don't remember it vividly.
Oh, okay. I was like, God damn, man, how do you guys do this? And I do not remember that game a lot, to be honest. Yeah, 21st minutes. So
I just think that if we're up 3-4-0 under Slot, he really wants us to just kill the game in possession.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't know if we're ever going to see as much of that as we may have seen under Klopp.
You remember that game because Jota scored 2 goals and it looks like he played.
I don't know. That game was definitely during the week, and I couldn't watch it. I can promise you, I do not remember that game.
Okay, it's Monday. Obviously, you did the Santa and the grooming and the dog stuff yesterday. Are you just going to be in fetal position crying because you guys are moving out, or what are we doing here? What's the plan?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm going to go get my hair cut, and then I'm going to go cry.
Oh, so the grooming day is for Mateusz today?
Today, me, yeah.
I'm shocked that Prince doesn't get somebody to come home to do this.
Me too.
Or is this your opportunity to mix in with the common folk?
I need to make them aware that I'm just like them. I'm still common like them. Yeah. No, but I should look into that in the new house. Find out a way to make them come to me. That's a good idea.
Thursday is not yes. Show some respect to the sir. But hey,
you guys, it was weird. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We'll be back tonight. Well, I'll be back tonight. 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern with Bickler and Galley. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff planned for today. So do tune in for that. Mateusz kind of knows what I'm talking about, but he's going to experience it in a little second over here. But yes, do tune in. Join us. We'll talk a lot more about the Girona game, but some of the other like this contract stuff. I was really hoping after the rumor came out yesterday, there would be more news about it coming out today, but nothing so far. Yeah, no 0 bus cuts. No, I don't think so. It's just like we just trim it. You don't even know. Like when he comes back, you're not even gonna know he got a haircut. He's just gonna tell you he got a haircut. So that's the kind of haircuts that Mateusz gets. So Arteta style, he just put the Lego head on top. But hey, have a great day, everybody. Do tune in tonight, and if you have not done so, like, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Will help us get to this 1,000. That will be our Christmas gift. So we'll see you guys tonight. Take care.